Welcome to this presentation on chapter number 8, Federalism and Decentralization, from the book Accelerating India's Development by Karthik Muralidharan. In the previous video, we spoke about public finance revenue, and today we will explore how India's federal structure impacts governance and public service as a whole. So let's get started. India's federal system, in theory, offers both large-scale efficiencies and local responsiveness. However, the practical overlap and the coordination challenges hinder effective service delivery. Large countries benefit from economies of scales in defense and economic integration, but they struggle with diversity management and citizens' engagement. Small countries often have more agile governments, as seen in wealthier small nations by per capita income. Federalism balances centralized functions like defense and trade with decentralized functions like local education. Effective local governments are crucial, yet India's governance remains highly centralized. Federal systems face jurisdiction disputes and risk of local elite capture. Balancing local autonomy with oversight and managing political conflict across tiers are ongoing challenges. India's federal structure includes the union states and local bodies, with states larger than many countries. However, governance remains centralized politically and economically. Political centralization is seen in the frequent dismissal of state governments. Economically, the center controls major tax revenues, making states reliant on central transfers for public service delivery. Reforming India's federalism involves creating smaller administrative units, encouraging state-level policy experimentation, increasing state autonomy in centrally sponsored schemes, clarifying jurisdictions and decentralizing within states. How does country size affect the quality of governance? As mentioned earlier, large-scale countries benefit from economies of scales in national defense, economic integration, and disaster response. They can support stronger militaries, build infrastructure, and develop technologies like the internet and the commercial aviation. However, larger countries face challenges in managing diverse identities and maintaining uniform policies, leading to secessionist movements and governance delays. Small countries often have more agile governments, with 9 out of 10 richest countries by per capita income being small. Balancing these costs and benefits is crucial for effective governance in large countries. The promise of federalism. Federalism will multiple tiers of governments offer the benefits of both large and small countries. Higher tiers handle functions with economies of scale like the national defense and trade, while lower tiers manage local services such as education and sanitation. This approach allows large countries to maintain economic and military strength while catering to local needs. In India too, the formation of states based on languages has preserved national unity by accommodating linguistic and cultural diversity. Key tensions in federal system face tensions in jurisdiction and administrative autonomy. Disagreement between tiers over laws and policies often require resolution by the Supreme Court. Greater local autonomy where local elites may misuse resources to maintain power. Tensions are heightened when different political parties govern different tiers, leading to conflict over credit for success and blame for failures. Successful federal system balance the benefit of large countries with the responsiveness of smaller ones. Clear delineation of roles, alignment of resources, and effective coordination across tiers are essential. Improving India's federal architecture is crucial for better governance and public service delivery. Federalism, the Indian experience. India's federal structure of government. India's federal administrative structure includes a union government, 28 states government, and 8 union territories. States are organized into district blocks and local bodies. Indian states with an average population of 50 million are more populous than more countries. Indian districts and sub-districts are also very large, and an average population of a district is around 2 million, larger than many countries. Governance in India is highly centralized. Despite large state and local governments, Indian governance remains highly centralized politically and economically. Political centralization. Article 356 of the Constitution has been overused to dismiss state governments and impose president rule. This has historically weakened state governments, although its use has declined since 1990s. Economic centralization. The center retains control over major tax revenues and non-tax revenues. Historically speaking, states received less than a third of the divisible pool of tax revenue, which only increased to 42% after the 14th Finance Commission's award in 2014. However, the central's control over cesses and surcharges limits state revenues. Centrally sponsored schemes designed for regional equity and minimum service standards often impose suboptimal guidelines on states, limiting their autonomy. These schemes, while beneficial in theory, result in excessive centralization and administrative burden, reducing state-level policy-making capacity. Local body governments are highly disempowered. Local governments, despite regular elections, are not empowered to deliver essential service effectively. Local government spending accounts for only 3% of total public expenditure in India, much lower than in countries like China, the USA, and the Brazil. Public employment is highly centralized, with only 10% of public employees working for local governments compared to the 60% in China and the USA. Why is governance in India so centralized? India's centralization stems from concerns over national unity, economic development through central planning, and social reforms. The Constituent Assembly favored a strong central government to address these issues. This top-down federalism contrasts with the USA's bottoms-up federalism, where pre-existing states delegated limited functions to a federal government. India's centralization was designed to have a professional state-level bureaucracy to implement policies benefiting disadvantaged groups. However, this approach needs reconsideration to allow for more effective and locally tailored governance. Implementable reform ideas. India's current over-centralization hampers effective governance. With a population surpassing 1.4 billion, India's governance needs a nuanced decentralization approach, leveraging strengths across different government tiers and safeguarding against local elite capture. Consider creating smaller states, districts, sub-districts, and local bodies. Creating smaller administrative units can enhance governance. Evidence suggests that the 2001 division of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Madhya Pradesh improved outcomes. Smaller states brings capital closer to citizens, enabling more locally tailored policies and better state capacity. Similarly, dividing sub-districts into mandals in Andhra Pradesh improved public goods provision. Smaller local governments have shown better infrastructure, welfare program implementation, and greater citizen participation. Encourage greater state and district level policy experimentation. Localized policy experimentation can expedite reforms and learning. Decentralized innovation and rapid adoption of successful reforms, as seen in China's economic growth, can catalyze India's development. Encouraging state and district level policy experimentation allows for managing political risk and replicating effective policies. Increase both autonomy and accountability in centrally sponsored schemes. Centrally sponsored schemes should empower frontline managers with autonomy while ensuring accountability through incentives. A 70:20:10 funding formula could distribute funds based on population, development indicators, and performance-based allocations. This approach aligns with the evidence that resources combined with incentives improve outcomes. Use principles of federalism to clarify jurisdiction across government tiers. Clarifying roles between government tiers based on principles of federalism can improve governance. For example, states should manage within border issues like education seats, while the center should oversee cross-state issues like the medical credentialing. Accelerate decentralization within states. States must decentralize service delivery to local bodies, improving accountability and service delivery. Empowering local governments to manage funds and personnel can enhance public service effectiveness and strengthen democracy. Decentralization with checks and balances such as empanelment for teacher hiring, can mitigate local elite capture. The delimitation challenge is an opportunity. The upcoming electoral delimitation poses a challenge due to the deviation from the one person, one vote principle. Balancing representation and incentivizing states to control population growth is crucial. Potential solutions include modifying Rajya Sabha rules, using current census figures for economic transfer, and increasing state level fiscal autonomy. Smaller countries often deliver better governance. India's over-centralization hampers effective governance, weakening democratic accountability and public service delivery. Greater decentralization from the center to states and local governments is crucial. This shift will enhance local problem solving, responsiveness, and innovation, ultimately improving governance and citizens' lives. Thank you for watching. For a deeper understanding, read Accelerating India's Development by Karthik Muralidharan. Do leave your thoughts in the comment section and stay tuned for our next video on the state and the market.